Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to another video. This time I thought I would do something completely different. I'm at home, I'm not working because of the COVID-19, so I'm actually a little bit bored and my mind's going crazy and I'm thinking up of all these different ideas just to keep myself occupied. And this time I thought what I would do is actually devise a compilation album for one of my favourite groups or artists and devise it so for an LP vinyl format, so you will have your side 1 and your side 2. It's almost like a best of the rest of, and I'm not allowed to include any singles from the UK. That's where I'm from. If I was in America and I was doing this, I wouldn't be able to include the American singles. For example, I couldn't include The Long and Winding Road by the Beatles if I was in America, but I can because I'm in the UK, as it was never released. It has to be sequenced well as an LP, so it's not just all thrown together. So the two sides have to more or less match up, because if it was bought a cassette, you want it so that you don't have to spool the cassette too far. And lastly, the whole album must feature on one side of a C90 tape, so that's 45 minutes. Although most C90s, I remember, always went a little bit over the 45, it's usually about 46.5, so I can go a few seconds over 45, but in this case I managed to keep it under. And so the band I'm going to do is Queen. Very divisive band. Some people just can't stand them. I absolutely love them, especially their 70s stuff. But we'll start off, and the very first track on side 1 I would put is Death on Two Legs, which is an absolutely brilliant opener. So it is. So it opens my imaginary album. By the way, I'm going to call the album Gems. And in fact, if I do this for any other artist, I'll call it Gems as well. Don't know why, but there you go. Okay, so Death on Two Legs, it was a bit of an attack on their ex-manager, I believe, but it's an absolute rockin', it's a fierce song, and it's really, really good. So it opens the album, and the second song on the album is Lazy on a Sunday Afternoon. The two are just, it's like Dear Prudence and Back in the USSR, the two are connected. You can't have one without the other. So Lazy on a Sunday Afternoon is my second choice for the album. Now normally this album would go into I'm in Love with My Car, I believe, yes. Well, my album now runs into another Roger Taylor song, which is the third choice, and that's Coming Soon, which is another great rocker, and I think it would fit well after Lazy on a Sunday Afternoon. So I'm in Coming Soon. Brilliant song from the game. Roger Taylor. Roger Taylor really did up the ante in the 80s. He became their best songwriter, whereas in the 70s he was probably their worst. But he really did. Something happened. I think it was a Fun and Space album because it was brilliant. Now I'm getting off topic here. So Coming Soon, track number 3, side 1. Okay, track number 4, and John Deacon makes an appearance with You and I from A Day at the Races. It's sort of a Motowny sort of catchy little number, a wee bit like You're My Best Friend, that type. And I think this would really suit well after the hard rocker of Coming Soon. And then track number 5, and we go back to Night at the Opera again, and Brian May's 39. In fact, side 1 of this is very similar to Night at the Opera in general, the whole way it's sequenced. 39 is fantastic acoustic number, which was originally the B-side as well of You're My Best Friend. I always preferred this to You're My Best Friend, but it wasn't the single, it was the B-side, so it gets on. And that's track number 5. Now track number 6 is a hard rocker, a little bit like Sweet Lady off Night at the Opera. And I'm going to go with Tear It Up from The Works in 1984, another really, really good rocker by Brian May. I love it. It's a real good catchy hook to it, so it gets my number 6, track 6 on side 1. Okay, and then track 7 to finish off side 1 goes with In the Lap of the Gods Revisited by Freddie Mercury, which is an absolutely brilliant scarf waving anthem. I love it. It really is. The end part could go on for another 10 minutes and I would still love it. So I think this is a good way to end actually side one of this album. So we flip over the opener for side two. I'm going to give To Put Out the Fire, Hard Rocker by Brian May from Hot Space. It opens side two of Hot Space as well. I just think it's really good, really strong. A bit like Hammer to Fall, but I think this is better than Hammer to Fall. I just love it. And all this album is probably the only real traditional Queen rocker on the album, but I love this album in general. Like, a lot of people know that, but I think it's a really good song. So that opens my side two. And then the second song on side two, I'm going to give it to the Fairy Feller's Masterstroke from Queen 2, which is bonkers. I think it's Mercury at his best. It's not very long, it's only 2 minutes 40, and I just think it's fantastic. It really is. It's really catchy as well. And this runs into my third track, Nevermore, which I'm putting as well, because I was thinking of doing In the Lap of the Gods. No, sorry, I was thinking of doing Lily of the Valley for it to run into that, but it works so well with Nevermore, so Nevermore gets on as well. So Fairy Feller's Masterstroke and Nevermore are tracks 2 and 3 of side 2. Okay, then we go on to track 4, and we go back to this album again, and I'm going to give it to the catchy acoustic-y Calling All Girls by Roger Taylor. Now, this was a single in the US, I know that, but it was never a single in the UK, so it gets on. I absolutely love it. Really good song. Very catchy. I can't understand why it wasn't released as a single here. I think it would have done extremely well. So it is my track number 4. Okay, track number 5, and another crazy Freddie Mercury one from A Day at the Races, and I'm going to give it to The Millionaire Waltz, which is on side 1. It's the 4th song, and yeah, I did get fed up with this after a while, but I've just played it recently and I absolutely love it again, so it definitely gets on the album. It just goes all over the place. It's the closest you would get to like the Bohemian Rhapsody type song, or even the Prophet song. It just goes off in different directions, and I think it's really good. So it gets on to my side 2, and it's track number 5. Okay, track number 6, and I'm going to put from the works, and it is Man on the Prowl, which is a little bit like a Jerry Lee Lewis type rocker. I think this is better than Crazy Little Thing Called Love, by the way. It did become a B-side as well. It was the B-side of the Christmas single, Thank God It's Christmas. But yeah, it's far better than Thank God It's Christmas, and I think it would work well as the second last track on side 2. So that is Man on the Prowl by Freddie Mercury. And to close the album off, Freddie Mercury again, and My Melancholy Blues, which is the best thing on this album, and it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's one of my top 5 Queen songs of all time. Absolutely love it. His vocals are stunning, and the song is just so well crafted. It is beautiful, and it's a perfect way to end this album and also my imaginary album Gems. So My Melancholy Blues gets my track 7. So looking at that, the running time for the side 1 is 21.8 minutes, and for side 2 is 22.9 minutes, so that's probably about 21 minutes and 50 seconds and 22 minutes and 55 seconds, and the total is 44 minutes and 7 seconds, or 44 minutes and 44.7 minutes, sorry, which is about 44 minutes, and 2/3 is about 40 seconds. Okay, so that's my imaginary album, things you do when you're bored. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to have another video quite soon. Don't forget, I'll still be doing the top 10, so you haven't escaped those. It's just I thought we'd do something different. Okay, now that's me for now, All the best and stay safe, and I hope to have another video quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.